just broker deals, but also have a personal interest for long-term, generational wealth they can create for my family and overall portfolio growth. So one of the questions that came up last week was one of the members here asked, hey, how do I get more deals from brokers? And one of the things that, popped up in my mind, well, what I look for when I'm working with new clients that I don't have a relationship with yet, or I just, maybe was referred to me recently, the prerequisite for me to send in my deals, because a lot of my deals are off market, I'll say, put together a buyer bio. And what that does is it shows me who's on your team, who's your syndication attorney, who's your title company, who's your lender, who you going to for debt, to see if you've even done that work. And if you haven't, if you don't have that together, that's your first step to be taken seriously. So number one, it helps with broker relationships just to have this buyer bio ready. And then number two, when you're ready to submit that offer or that LOI to the seller, multifamily is competitive. So that seller's probably got multiple offers sitting on his table. How are you going to stand out from all those other offers? Give yourself the competitive edge by offering your LOI and your buyer bio in the same email. Here's my team. We're ready to perform, pre-qualified, syndication attorneys ready to go. Here's my assets under management. I've got 1,000 units. Here are my properties. They're in Tennessee and Arizona and Texas. If you don't have any of that, it's okay. Most of the groups that I work with, they try to find a KP or a sponsor or a GP that has that experience, and maybe you can include that into the buyer bio to leverage their experience, because you're going to team up with them. So you can still do this if you have 0 properties. Okay, so let's Daryl, I can share my screen, right? And I can
Okay. Go ahead. You should be able to.
Yep. Let me go ahead and show you guys an example. All right, so out of respect for my client and the group that put this together, I've just covered any of the proprietary information. Daryl, can everybody see this?
Yes, I can see it.
Great. Okay. So let me actually pull this up here. This way. Okay. So, this is a front cover page. You've got your LLC name here. X company is a syndication company specializing in B and C multifamily acquisitions. So you're already out the gate kind of telling the seller and the broker, hey, this is my criteria. This is what I'm looking for. And, this is a good example. So, managing member, you've got the first member, maybe have a photo here. Just a little bio about yourself, maybe your education level, experience, specializing in multifamily and self-storage, or, what have you. There's another managing member. Again, just talk about their background. This one's from New York City. He had worked with Amazon and a couple corporate entities as a 9-to-5. Strategic partner. This is a really good example of somebody that you can leverage. A KP or a sponsor, maybe Daryl, maybe include him on the buyer bio and say, look, we've got 400 apartments right here with an excess of 20 million assets under management, and so it builds your credibility. So I circled these in red. I send this to all my new clients that I work with, and I show them, I highlight what I love about the buyer bio. They've got a mortgage lender, syndication attorney, management company already teed up, ready to go. That's huge. Investment criteria. What do we specialize in? What are we looking for? Well, Mr. Seller, your property I'm interested in because it matches my acquisition criteria. I'm looking in Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm looking in Tennessee. These are my preferred MSAs, right? Required community characteristics. I mean, if I was a seller looking at this, I'm like, these guys are pros. I'll counteroffer, or I'm gonna have this conversation with this buyer group. They know their demographics. They want to be near hospitals and factories. That's exactly where my complex is located. They've done their research, not wasting my time. required property characteristics, if you got the vintage preferences here, 16 units or more, up to 4 million sales price, pitched roofs. I mean, this is, if you guys want to talk high level professional buyer bios, this is how you do it right here. Required underwriting criteria. This is the last page. 9% cash on cash. This is from a couple years ago. This might be, maybe not relevant to today's inflationary market and returns, but this is just a really great example. When Daryl brought this up last week, this is maybe 4 pages. So, it's meant to be short and simple and nothing, that's going to take hours to read. It's not like a PPM or anything, but this might be 1 or 2 pages for you guys out there. But as a broker, I'm sending my deals to this group, right? So that's my presentation for an example of a buyer bio.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you. That's excellent. I do believe that's very helpful, especially for a lot of the new members. Now let me ask you a question here, because I haven't used a buyer's bio. Usually what I send with my LOI is my bio and my sponsor's bio, which is, it's around maybe 2 pages, but it goes in detail of my history, how I got, my past, all of that stuff. Would you say that maybe I should shift to the buyer's bio instead of me sending over my bio with my track record and my history in there and all of that?
Well, I don't know how long it is, but I think your snapshot of your experience in the market and you having a multifamily mindset group, or all that's relevant in your snapshot. Maybe shave the fat off of that if it's meaty, and maybe just make it a paragraph, and then include the rest of that buyer bio as leveraging your team, your mortgage lender, kind of like it said. But if you've got like 3 pages of just you, maybe shorten that up and polish it up a little bit.
Sounds good.
But it's still relevant. Yeah, it's still good information. And another quick note about the buyer bio, this is more effective when you're looking at properties that are 100+ units, because when you get to those higher level deals that are more sophisticated sellers, they're more sensitive. They care more about whether or not they go under contract with a credible group that can perform than anything else, because their greatest fear is taking it off the market for 2 or 3 months and that buyer can't perform and they have to go back in the market. And they want a one-stop shop. They want to be able to perform. Earnest money goes hard, closing in 90 days, whatever it is. The buyer bios look great, but they carry less weight when you're dealing with mom and pop owners, like 50 units or less. That guy's probably not so sophisticated. They're not accredited investors. They're probably, inherited it from their parents or grandparents. And, the mom and pop sellers are still important, but they probably don't even know what a buyer bio is or have never seen one.
Gotcha.
So I think the buyer bio comes in, it provides more leverage, and the efficacy rate is higher when you're dealing with institutional sellers, or you really have that big property you're trying to take down.
Fantastic. Michael Scott.
Can we get, this is a question that's for Nick. Nick, can we get a PDF copy of that that's still got the redactions in it?
Sure, I'm happy to share that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Fantastic. Kish, you had your hand up.
Hey there. Yeah, does it have to be like a PDF document, Nick, or can it be a like a URL pointing to a your website /buyer bio or something like that?
That's a great idea. I've never seen a URL or a hyperlink version. I've only seen PDFs, but if you have the bandwidth and you have a website, you can link it up and leverage your website. Absolutely. I don't see how that's a downside.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Raheem, go ahead.
Hey Nick, great presentation. I was gonna say, in which way would you use the buyer's package as far as strategy? If I'm gonna reach out to a new seller, do I send that beforehand or do I communicate like effectively beforehand and then send that over with an LOI?
Yeah, great question, Raheem. Most of the time, I don't think you're, hurting the process if you send it too early or too late. As long as you send it by the time you have that LOI in hand, I think that's the most important. If you're able to get them on the phone and build rapport, have conversations with them, that obviously helps. But regardless, I think it should be included in the conversation or process somewhere, somehow, in order for you to stand out even more than your competition. So I think the timing is less important than you actually having it to present. By the time you offer on the property.
Fantastic. Any other question? Go ahead, Keish.
Okay, then. Thanks, Nick.
Keish, you had your hand up?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes. Mhm.
Excellent. So this is a slightly off topic, Nick, but I think you might be able to assist. So when I reach out to brokers online, LinkedIn or any of those other platforms, I don't get a very high conversion rate. People don't respond back. What's your approach? Like, what would you like to see in a cold email or a cold message that would pique your interest and says, "Hey, I want to get back to Keish"?
Yeah, that is a great question. That's exactly how this buyer bio came up. It was that exact question: is how do we get more activity and follow up back from brokers? How do brokers send us more deals? And if I got a cold email from a multifamily group and it had, buyer bio attached to it, say, hey, I'm actively looking in the market in the Houston area. I saw your local broker in the area. Here's my buyer bio. Here's my acquisition criteria. Here's my team. That email would go to the top of my list. I would definitely call that group. But 98% of your cold calls or your investor groups don't have a buyer bio, and so to me, it's like, everybody's looking for multifamily. So I just that would be this buyer bio is a great example of what you should send to a broker.
I'm going to do that. Thank you, Nick.
Sure.
Mhm. Great. Any other questions? Nick, would you talk to us about your company? Because my criteria is 100 to 300 units, $3 to $30 million, BEC class properties. I'm in Houston, the surrounding area. As you already know, I have a 24 unit under contract, and so forth. But we're the team itself looks, and I'm gonna say Dallas South. I just happen to have one property that I'm underwriting right now that's in Amarillo, that's north. But normally I try to stay of Dallas South. And but would you tell us a little bit about your company and what criteria your company covers?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. So Newcor Commercial Real Estate, we're a smaller boutique firm. So we have about 6 agents and we all have our specialty niche, each different branches that we head. So again, I head the multifamily branch and the investment sales branch. So anything that's going to cash flow or anything that has an NOI, we specialize in. So I think I mentioned before last week, I'm a GP partner on a few self-storage properties in Houston with a private equity group out of Silicon Valley. And so again, this is I have a personal passion for investment properties as well. So again, multifamily for me, then we've got an industrial branch. We do developments as well. We develop industrial business parks, retail centers. We have an office branch, and so anything commercial, you name it, we can do it. We have the same tools and reports as Marcus Millichap, JLL, CBRE. We just don't have assistants answering our phone calls. We're here like taking the phone calls ourselves. We have our own voicemails. So we're just all hardworking, grassroots efforts. I do a ton of cold calls, a ton of email prospecting and letter campaigns to get my leads for my clients. So just old school grassroots hard work. But you're leveraging, we have the same tools and exposure that any major firm in any downtown MSA would have.
Now, if I wanted to get it, because I don't know if I'm on your mailing list. How can I get on your mailing list? And I will send my buyer's bio.
That's how you do it. Then happy to add you on that. Anybody else, I'll put my email in the text chat here, and then feel free to email me and I'll add you on there.
Okay. Would you also put in the chat the website for the company?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. All right. Any other questions? Because listen, new people, this is an opportunity. You have the broker here. He's telling you what's needed. Don't be afraid to come off mic and ask him. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Nick, thanks for the prezzo. Well, you mentioned something that got me curious. So how are you finding deals? Are you doing the typical door knocking or cold calling? And what are you finding is effective in this market?
Hey, great question, Gene. Cold calling is my number one lead generator. And we have a tool, a broker tool that we use. It's CoStar. CoStar does a really good job of having the owner's entity contact information already in the platform. So some days I'll just go down and I'll have a goal of 10 cold calls minimum per day, and that'll just get me going. And then sometimes it takes follow up. Sometimes takes 30 to 60 days of follow up sometimes for somebody to call you back and get familiar with your voice and your voicemails, and they'll finally call you back, ask you a few questions, and find out you're credible, that you know what you're talking about, and then they'll finally hand over the financials. So, but out of all the letter campaigns, door knocking, cold calling is the most effective for me personally.
Now, when you're calling, I'm sure you're getting a lot of LLCs. So how do you get past the gatekeeper, I guess, right?
Ironically, CoStar does a really good job of having their direct number available. Now, you have a good point. It's sometimes you don't get lucky. There's just it's a dead end, and you just move on to the next one. Their white pages is a good source that you can try to peel back the layers to find out the true owners of these LLCs. So I would check out white pages. That's a source that we would use if I really need to get down to a property or really chasing somebody down. White pages is a great tool to leverage.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Sure.
Nick, I use CoStar and I also have Crexy. What's your thoughts on the information, the seller's information or the owner's information that's in Crexy if I'm having a problem with CoStar? Did you ever deal with Crexy?
So a couple of our agents do Crexy. I don't have many listings on Crexy, so I can't really speak from experience on the comparison. CoStar is usually the main tool I use daily.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Great. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right.
Hey, the buyer's bio said MSAs. What is an MSA?
Sure. MSA is a metropolitan statistical area, and it basically just represents, downtown Austin, downtown Houston, Dallas. It's the metroplex of whatever city you're looking at. So you've got three core areas of any kind of city. You've got your MSA, which is you're talking about, probably higher average household income, population growth, economic job growth. That's going to be the hub of that demographical site. Then you have your submarkets or your secondary markets is going to be kind of the outer ring of any MSA. And then thirdly, you have your tertiary markets. Tertiary is the third outer ring. Those are your rural areas. Those are your C-class properties, maybe trading at 10 caps. The population growth isn't as dense. Average household income is going to be lower. Blue collar jobs, things like that. So those are just some terms that we use in the industry to identify different markets.
Fantastic. Gene, you got your hand up?
That was from before. Daryl, I lowered.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Any other questions? For those that are in my mentorship program, we had our meeting last night. What did I say to you? I told you to do what? To reach out to me, right? Nick gave away a big, I don't even want to say a nugget. That thing was bigger than a nugget. So if you're in my mentorship program, I expect you to be reaching out to me. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So Nick, thank you. Thank you very much. Last question. I know you said I think you said you're a GP on some deals. Do you also work with others that's in that Houston market, like to be boots on the ground, stuff like that, and to be part of the GP for like being boots on the ground or asset manager?
Yeah, absolutely. That's always an option. I think relationships are really important in this industry. So yeah, just heavily relying on relationships and just mutual goals and things like that. So yeah, I'd love to get to know more people and build that relationship and commonality. And we're happy to look at deals and consider JVs. Sure.
Sounds good. All right. Nick, put your contact information if you haven't already in the chat. And I want to say thank you. You did, that was excellent. How do you want to handle, because a lot of people are requesting a copy. Do you want to just send me the copy and then instead of everybody barging, bum rushing you?
I don't mind.
Okay.
It's not a deterrent. If you want to reach out directly, I'm happy to send you a PDF. But if you have a quick way to just blast it out, Daryl, I'm happy to send it to you, and whatever you think is best way.
I could do that because I could everyone that's here, I could blast it out to them if you send it to me.
Okay.
Yep. Sounds good. And I'm gonna start preparing mine. All right. Listen, everyone. So I need your help. I need your help. So right now we have 53 people. I need you to tell other investors about the GOB, about Commercial Multifamily Mastermind. And next Tuesday, I'm asking you to refer one person. Bring someone with you next Tuesday when you come. All right? Because we're going to be, we're going to be doing deals with next week. We will have a presentation, whether if it's me or someone else, we're going to have a presentation. I like to do presentation every single Tuesday. And the reason why I like to do it every single Tuesday is so that for you who are on the couch or on the fence or whatever you're on, I'm trying to knock you off it. And I'm trying to get you involved. That's the purpose of the presentations, right? When we present, I want you to get involved. I want you to say, hey, I want to be a part of that. And I don't care if you don't know how to raise capital. I don't care. I really don't. in order for you to learn, you got to get started, right? So again, the reason why we do presentations is so that if you want to get involved through raising capital or whatever the process is, you're going to get it right here. This is an action-taking meeting. We take action in here. Okay. Sometimes I'm going to call on you. And you probably saying, oh, Lord, I'm not doing it today, so you ain't got to run. But sometimes I'm going to call on you, especially new people. I know you got questions and you're afraid to ask them. Listen, this is the opportunity. You got a bunch of people here and they have experience at all different levels. Don't be shy. Brian?
That was an accident, but I was getting ready, but didn't want to interrupt you, but you basically going to do the Socratic method by just calling on people. That's what they do in law school.
Because I want everyone to learn. I don't want you to leave the mastermind still being baffled, right? Leave the mastermind. What did you learn? I don't know. I didn't ask my question. I was afraid. That's not how I want you to leave. I want you to leave better than you came. So you could go back and say, wow, these guys really, really serious. And I'm telling you right now, we really are. All right. So I have the 24 unit deal in Dayton. Reggie and his team, my team and I have the 24 unit deal in Dayton. Reggie and his team has the 68 unit deal in Springfield, Illinois. Kenza is working with her team. You know, so we're working and we're going to, I'm going to say this too. By the end of December, I would like each and every one of you to either be on a deal or have your own. I'm going to be presenting some investment opportunities. Remember what I said, this is an educational platform. It's about learning. You could shadow us, right? If you want to shadow me on any investment opportunity, just reach out to me. Hey, Dad, I would like to shadow you to learn. I'm not going to tell you no. You want to help me with due diligence on my next 200 and some unit? I'm going to say, sure, come on. I'm going to put you to work, but you're going to learn. And I'm not even going to charge you $40,000 and $50,000. So with that being said, we're going to go into breakout rooms. I know some of you are going to leave now, but this is really the time not to leave, because now you get to talk to the investors. All right. And you get to build that relationship with them. So don't leave. If you can hang around, hang around. Now, one last thing before you cut out on me, right? I still got 53 left. Before y'all leave, I always stick around for an additional 30 minutes after our call, which ends at 12:30. The purpose for this, the purpose for me sticking around, is so that you can get to know me better. You can ask me any type of question that you want. I'm an open book. Okay. I'm an open book. So if you really want to get to know me, stick around. All right. Stick around. Don't leave. Don't leave. All right. So we're going to go into breakout rooms right now. I know some of you are going to jump off, but if you can stay on. And then we're going to come back 12:30. We're going to drop the mic and stop recording. And it's a free flow. That's where a lot of nuggets come out. All right. Hang in there, everyone. Hang in there. Don't be afraid. Oh, last thing. If your camera is off and you're in the room, wait. If you're driving or at work, do not come off camera. Okay? I'm not being responsible for anything, and you're not moving in with me. Okay? So, but if you can cut your camera on while you're in the breakout room, this way that investor could see you and you could see the investor. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's see how many people dropping off. Wow, I done jumped down to 39. All right, hold on a second. I'm just letting everybody leave, everyone. If
Daryl,
you're in a room, if you're in a room by yourself, don't leave. I will shift you to another room. Okay, go ahead, Alicia. How many people? 36.
just want to say real quick, if any of you are having challenges, either logging into glbnetwork.com site or getting on Slack, reach out to the person that sponsored you and they will help you get access.
Sure enough. All
Thank
right, so
you.
we're down to 36. I think that's where we're rocking steady. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna put about 3, 4 in the room. Here we go. Navasha, how you doing? You there? Navasha? Let me see. Is she going in the room or did she leave? Nope.
I'm in favor.
Where are you, Jason?
I'm
All right, so you probably wonder, why did I bring everyone back to the main room, right? Where's Dennis? Did everybody come back yet? Did Dennis, where's Dennis?
Probably dropped off. I think the room sends you back here on the clock.
I noticed you have to request to come back into the main room once the meeting is over. That's what I had to do.
All right. Everyone should be back in the main room now. And I don't see Dennis.
There's
no, I
still
was
people.
okay.
There's still
Oh, wait a
people.
minute. Wait, here we come.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
There's still
Okay.
people, it looks like.
All right, so I closed all the rooms.
Unmute, Dennis.
Okay, so everyone, I brought you back to the main room for a reason. And someone amongst us need help. Now, I normally wouldn't bring everyone back here. You know how I do, right? But when I hear of help, when I hear the word help, I got to get some help. So Dennis has a property in Sealy, Texas. It's a 75 unit. He has put down 40%. And he has a $6 million raise. Did I say that right, Dennis? So far?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Okay. So Dennis, I would like for you to please tell everyone, well, give everyone a little history about yourself. And this is where Dennis needs help. And matter of fact, I'm gonna take this moment. This is gonna be a learning moment. Because Dennis is having a problem. And one of the problems that, and correct me if I'm wrong now, Dennis, one of the problems that he is having is with a lender. Am I right?
No, not a lender.
Not a lender. Okay, so you got the lender.
We don't need a lender. We have seller financing.
Okay, there you go. He got seller financing. So he don't need a lender. But Dennis needs, but you do need that 6 million.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So he got seller financing. And Dennis needs 6 million. Now, Dennis and his partner, they're new. This is their first deal. He took the faith. He stepped out. Right? He said, him and his partner said, yo, we're going to do this. All right. Now, as I'm going along with the story, Dennis, let me know if I'm swaying off a little bit, okay? But Dennis, I think, bit off a little bit too much by himself being brand new. So I asked Dennis, I said, I'm gonna bring everyone back to the room. I want you to talk to everyone and tell everyone what you need, right? So Dennis, talk to everyone and tell everyone here what you need help with.
We need help raising the funds. We're about at this point 5 million short. We have about a million committed. But you know, it's committed, but we actually had the 6 million committed by several larger investors, one who owns a commercial insurance company, but he essentially pulled out at the last moment. That's why we opened up a 506c fund.
And why did he pull out at the last moment?
From my understanding, he had some other opportunity that came up that was not real estate related that he had to get involved in. But that's what was communicated. I don't know if that was the case.
All right. So normally, everyone, you know how I am. I don't want to see pitch decks. I don't want to see all of that. I want to see raw, right? However, in this case, Dennis, you said you had the investors packet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Share screen and put your investors packet up, and let's see if we could get you some help.
All right, hold on one second. Let me open up.
Dennis, who underwrote this property?
My partner, Nathan, he's a former commercial lender. Okay, here we go. Oops, I apologize. I'm gonna open.
Is the underwriting available if we are interested or someone is interested?
Yeah, we can definitely get you down the writing, absolutely, but I don't have it available at me right now.
Okay.
But yes, that is
Caught Dennis off guard. I caught Dennis off guard, everyone.
It's okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize this opportunity today. And thank you, Daryl.
This is what we do. This is what we do here at
Every-
the Commercial Multifamily Mastermind. This is what we do.
Every opportunity is an opportunity. So always have it ready.
Okay, I'm gonna try to share this, hopefully. Did you give me sharing rights, Daryl?
Yeah, you should be able to share.
Okay, so I can also post a link to our offering if it's okay. It has a video that talks about the value adds after this, if anybody is interested.
Hey, Nick, thank you.
Let's see, share. Let's see if this does it. Okay. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is a 75 unit in Sealy, Texas. It's a brand new asset. It was built in 2021. So this is a 506c fund. I just have to always do the disclaimer. Okay. So this location is around 40 miles west of downtown Houston. It's also located, I'm gonna skip this one a little bit. And I'm gonna jump back and forth a little bit here, but I wanted to go here first. There we go. So it's located right in that corridor between Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. You can see that on left-hand side. So location, it is an emerging market. The location is essentially, everybody says in the next 3 years, it's gonna be Katy. And Katy has experienced, I believe, about 60 to 70% growth in the past, I believe it was 10 years. And we actually have that stats here. 62% growth. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 85 population growth. So Sealy is the next door over. There's currently $40 million being invested in this market by people out of Houston. And I'm going to go to another slide here before I get into the financials. Where is it? And if I'm getting anybody nosebleeds, I apologize. So there is what's called the Retreat at Sealy. It's literally down the block from this property. And my partner was just out there. It's a 97% full. So it's brand new. It is a Class A asset. It is better than this. But the problem is why this asset is currently at 80% or about 83% full is because the person that's selling the property, he is not an operator. He's actually a builder. And also what I would say is besides him just not being a builder, he also took a property management company that's not there. They're not open from 9 to 5, none of that stuff. It's as need appointments. So that's the reason why there's a major issue with the current property management company there.
Hold on. Before you leave, wait, go back for a minute.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
This is 75 units.
Yep.
Why do you have the reserve on Sabine in there, which is only 16 units? And what is the rationale behind having Oxford at the ranch, which is 224 units?
Yeah, so essentially the reason why we put these properties on here is because they're the ones that are in the local area. Sealy does not have many multifamilies. They're building them. This is another one that just came up, but there's not many multifamilies. So we took what was close by that met the year built. So we wanted to be as close to the year built as possible.
Okay, but did you consider the economy of Brenham, and did you consider the economy of Waller when it comes to demographics compared to Sealy?
Well, I mean, our thoughts on it is that the demographics, yes, but the thing is that with Sealy, what we identified is there's a lot of people that actually live in Sealy, but they don't work in Sealy. And with the mobility aspect, a lot of them.
No, did I freeze? Or did he freeze?
He froze.
The market, I mean, there's about 11,000 people that live currently in Sealy. So it is an emerging market. But there's a lot of people that essentially are commuting to other markets for their work.
Okay, so according to the Census Bureau, Sealy doesn't have 11,000, but do you know what is the population for Brenham and for Waller?
I do not top of my head. No, I don't.
Okay, all right.
But I can get that information if that's what's being asked. But this is a picture of the property. So like I said, here you can see the value as are still available there. We're going to be adding carports. That's one of the things. They're all brand new. We still have the original warranty. We're also going to be looking at adding washer and dryers to the unit. they don't have that, but they do have the hookups. We're thinking about potentially as another value add to actually leasing those as opposed to purchasing those. Okay, you want me to go through all the slides or?
No, no, everyone, if, let's just hit key points. Cause,
Yeah.
cause we have a lot of masters up here.
Let me go to what we're seeing. So we're looking at cash on cash 8.6 and investor equity multiplier is 2x, and the IR we're looking at 15.6.
Okay. Where did you pull your rents? One, who's your property manager that's gonna be managing this?
So the property management company is going to be IMC Implicity Management Company. They have over 5,400 units. They're 75 years combined experience. They're basically in the Texas market and some other markets outside of Texas as well.
And just remind me where you live again.
I live in Jersey.
Okay, and remind me where your partner lives.
He lives in Michigan, but he does have also another residence that in Texas.
And who's going to be the boots on the ground there?
He would be mostly.
But he can't be because he don't live there.
Well, he's not there full time, but he does have a place out there, and he does go out there frequently. I just don't know, when he goes out there. But essentially, we're going to be relying on Implicity Management Company to be our boots on the ground if we're not there.
Okay. If somebody, if a partner was to come in and help you with this, and they wanted someone to be boots on the ground that lived there, would that be an objection?
I have not raised that question. We can have that conversation.
Come on, someone, help me out with some questions, because I don't want to monopolize all of this. I done kept y'all 7 minutes past.
All right. So this is our cash flow. This is our year 1 through year 7. We're looking at 5 years sell. Obviously, nobody's seen tomorrow, so we don't know how the market is going to go. We're also seeing that we're going to be able to return after 3 years about 30 to 40% of the capital to the investors.
And what model did you use to underwrite this, or your partner?
See, that would be a question for him. I cannot answer that.
Okay. How many other A-class properties are around this one?
Around this one, there's at least one. That's Celia Retreat.
Hey, I have a question.
Go ahead, Brian.
If suppose an investor invest in this this deal, what is the minimum will you be accepting, and what are the tax benefits? Are you guys doing a cost segregation study?
So the initial investment is 100,000 that we're accepting. The other question is, I'm gonna have to get back to you because my partner does all the financial stuff.
And can you and what is the model again? I think I missed that. I think Daryl asked that question. What model did you use?
Yeah, that's another question that I have to get back on, but I will. Yeah.
And this is for accredited investors?
Yes, that is correct. It's a 506c fund.
Okay. And what's the population in this area?
So in Sealy, I mean, we looked at it was 11,000, might be a little higher now.
And what's the average household income? It should be on your presentation
Let me see.
under demographics.
Here it is. 69K income.
Okay.
Who
Sorry,
are some of the major employers?
What type of
Oh, I see.
unit
Amazon.
mixes are we looking at? I miss
Raheem, you're breaking up real bad. Real bad.
I was gonna say, what's the unit mix? I wasn't here for that part. My phone had cut off.
Oh, what's the unit mix?
Oh,
I say,
let me see if I have them in this presentation. Give me 1 second. I apologize.
can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear now. What's the unit mix?
You could press,
Hang on 1 second. I apologize.
usually you could press Control F and type in unit mix, and it'll come up.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up what notes I know I have the unit mix here somewhere.
Dennis, how long you been under contract with this property?
So we officially signed the PSA, I would say about a week ago, but LOI has been about a month. No, actually longer, probably since June.
Okay.
Late June. I have to get back to you on that one. And by the way, everyone, I apologize. I wasn't prepared for any of this, so that's why I'm kind of
Correct.
stumbling all over the place.
That's okay.
But
That's
but
all
it
right.
does have an issue of 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. Trying to see.
What's your plan in marketing to those 2 and 3 units out there? You said you have 2 1s and 3. You said you have 1 1s, 2 1s, and 3 1s.
Yeah.
So I'm asking once you guys get the property, what kind of marketing ideas do you have?
Yeah, so there's actually the crime rate in this area has gone down drastically, and we have actually a point here. So it's a very nice neighborhood now. So it's definitely, I would say, an opportunity for families to move in. There's a high school, like literally down the street. And also the center of Sealy is about less than a mile away. So to answer your question, our goal to fill larger units with families is by marketing through the local community. Or potentially going to Katy, what I meant local community, I apologize. Because Katy is actually the spillover market from here, and it's literally 5 to 10 minutes away.
So,
Okay.
go ahead. Is this in the
Can-
Katy School District? It's 24 minutes from Katy. And
No, it's not in the Katy School District. Guys, own school district.
Any other questions? All right. Let me see.
I
No
do
one have
have
any-
one question. You
Yeah,
said
go
that
ahead.
was this seller financing or a assumable loan? What type of?
It's seller financing for 36 months, and we're essentially going to, after 3 years, because we're looking at 5-year, we're looking to do, we're gonna get a loan. So the first 3 years, we're getting 2% financing. After 3 years, we will be looking for a loan. So once we acquire, we're gonna start looking for a loan.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
and Dennis, remind me your vacancy rate.
At this point, it's 83%, I believe.
83% vacant or filled?
Filled.
What's your break even?
I mean, we're profiting right now. our goal is to get up in the 90s very quickly by putting the right property management company that's going to be all hands on board, are going to be responding continuously. They have their own marketing plan that they have not provided to us yet, but they have specialized actually in taking properties and increasing occupancy very quickly in a short time frame. That's what they specialize in.
Are the current rents at market?
There is a little bit of an some units are actually so what's interesting about this property is that there's several units that are being currently Airbnb'd and they're getting cash flow of its own. Some of the units are under market, and some units I would say are closer to the market. I would say majority of units are closer to what the market price is, but there is an opportunity to increase on a percentage of the units. And in order for me to do that, I have to tell you the percentage of the units.
Out of those 75 units, how many units are you renting out as Airbnb?
At this point, there's 6 units.
Now, are you going to continue on that path of renting out units as Airbnb?
We're going to explore that option. We have not made a decision.
Now, so my next question is going to follow, is going to stay on the path of that Airbnb. When you get ready to sell this property, how are you going to look at selling this property if you are trying, or if you happen to have this, a lot of those units as Airbnb?
Well, I mean, on 75 units, 6 units, that's not a lot of units. That's a very small percentage of.
No, but you said you may consider more of the units as Airbnb.
No. We're only going to consider the ones that are currently being actively as Airbnb, is to maintain those. Or, I mean, our goal is to get this to 97 occupancy in the next 36 months.
Okay.
Or sooner, probably. I mean, most likely sooner, because I mean, once again, the celiac retreat, they're there, and people really need a place to live. And my partner went out there, and he met with the property manager there, and they said they already have a waiting list.
Besides the property management that you're going to be replacing, what are other value add opportunities you see with this potential property?
Yeah, so we actually outlined that right here. As I mentioned, 60 spaces for covered parking. We're going to do a monument, additional fitness equipment to patio outdoor adjacent to the pool. And we're going to look at the leases. We're actually looking at them right now before it's put together. There is a percentage of people that have pets because they have to pay a fee for that. So we're going to be looking into doing a dog run.
And is this consistent with what other apartments in that market is doing?
Yes.
Okay.
The Celiac Retreat, which is the comparable Class A asset, I mean, that looks more like a resort. And they have all of that.
Can you scroll up just a little bit so I can see all your fees?
Oh, sure. Right.
No, the other way. There it is. Okay. Oh, there. Okay. So that was all of them. Acquisition, asset management, zero there, and disposition. Okay. Wow. I like that. Okay. Okay. Dennis, can you put your contact information inside the chat? And also, I would like for you and your partner to be prepared to present this on Sunday at our general meeting at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna try to get you as much help as possible, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Carl, I have a question for Dennis. Dennis, you got a mobile home park across the street. How large is it? And behind this property, it looks like you have horizontal single family. How large is that complex?
I don't have that information. I have to get back to
Moses, on Sunday at 8 at our general meeting, the GOB general meeting, can you come? Because I would like you to present that question again. Can you come?
Is that 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
All right, I can make time.
All right.
So Dennis, how are you?
If you can't make it, let me know. But send me the question. I'll make sure I'll ask the question, and because it's going to be recorded, and then I'll get you the answer.
Dennis, how are you handling those because you need such a large amount? How are you handling like investors that want a GP spot if they're coming in at 500, a million plus?
So we have a portal, InvestNext, that is basically managing all of that.
No, but I think her question is, if somebody's coming with 500,000 or $1 million.
You're asking how we're,
Yeah.
I mean, we're open to essentially a conversation. And we want to make sure this is our first deal, so we're not looking to get rich on this one. We both have other investment opportunities that we're involved in. I have a W-2, so we're looking just to get started. So we're open to having the conversation. We actually are in talks right now with the capital company, which actually might take this whole thing down. We're gonna hear more about it by the end of today, actually. But we'll see. Like I said, whenever there's promises of a full raise or even close to a full raise, I am skeptical because we had that multiple times already, and then people pulled out. So
Right.
we have really just 3 people. Most of the time when you have these kind of deals, you have like 10, 12 people. So there's a lot of opportunity for co-GP. We obviously don't, we already put in the due diligence, we put in the time, found this property. We got the 506C fund going, due diligence. So whatever, but we're open to having a conversation because we don't want to basically lose what we invest.
Right.
So Daryl, is this thing recording right now?
Yeah.
He's going to need the recording because he's going to need to come prepared with all the questions he just got asked.
Yeah, because I didn't write them down.
for the meeting at hand, right? And it probably wouldn't hurt for somebody to sit and try to poke holes in his game a little bit before that meeting, before that presentation.
Sounds good. Yeah, and Dennis, so what I'll do, I will get you a copy of this here recording so that way you and your partner could go over it. Now, I'm also going to ask you that between now and Sunday, if you get someone that is going to bring all the capital and going to seal this deal for you, reach out to me, let me know, because that way I won't need to, I'm not going to tell all of the GOB members to make sure that they're there Sunday, although I still need them there Sunday, but I'm not going to let them know that there's going to be a presentation, because once I let them know, they're going to come and they're going to, they're going to want to take part. So please let me know.
Okay. I absolutely,
if something happens.
I will absolutely get back to you. Absolutely. And like I said, I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen, but everything happens for a reason. So I'm here for a reason. So let's see.
Hey, Dennis, and I would also recommend if you ask the seller if he wants to reinvest in this deal, that's going to show a lot of strength. If he wants to reinvest some of his, equity back into it, that's going to lower your raise as well.
Well, I mean, the seller is giving us 36 months, 2%, right? So that also speaks some volume. And the agent is looking to invest in the deal that's selling us the property.
Yeah, but if you offer him a Class A share at 10% or whatever, I mean, why wouldn't he want to put his money and make that in return?
Okay, I mean, that's something that we haven't thought about, but you know, this is where we have these conversations.
It can also reduce his tax liability.
Dennis, who are you using for an attorney?
We use a company called let me stop sharing. I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah, go ahead, stop sharing.
Syndication attorney.
Might be
Yeah, we have a syndication attorney, and then we have the attorney that's actually draw up our PSA. You're asking for the syndication attorney, correct?
Both of the attorneys.
Okay, both the attorneys. Okay, so we're using Brian Hammer from Bullard Wall Lenser PC, the one that's drawing up the PSA.
Okay.
And for syndication, just a second. Premier Law Group.
Oh, I know them. Yeah.
In a good way?
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, Mauricio is a good guy.
Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. So let's see if we can let's see if we can help Dennis. So listen, everyone, Sunday is the general GOB meeting, right? At 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I'm asking Dennis for him and his partner to come back to Sunday's meeting. And I'm going to send them the recording so they could be prepared. Also, have your underwrite just in case.
Okay.
All right. And let's see if let's see if we can help you with that 6 million. All right. Let's see if we can help you with that 6 million.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yep. So see everyone, see what happens when you stick around for another 30 minutes. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. And you know, this could be an opportunity to where we could help Dennis get through his deal. And Dennis, are you a member of the GOB?
Yeah, I posted it in the GOB Slack.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that one? Oh, that's because I probably wasn't tagged on it. If you don't tag me on it, I'm most likely I'm going to miss it. But listen, everyone, let's see if we could help Dennis out and get Dennis that capital. And I think Alicia did ask you that if we need to see the underwrite or would like to underwrite it ourselves so that we can see how these numbers work out. You have no objections, correct?
Yeah, no. I would have objections.
Sounds good.
We're looking to become best friends on this deal, right? So, I mean, no objections.
Sounds good. All right. Well, listen, everyone, I'm going to shut it down right here. Does anyone have any questions before I go for Dennis? All right, then. I see everyone. I see everyone next Tuesday right here on Commercial Multifamily Masterminds. But I'll see you before then on Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time at the GOB General Meeting, where Dennis and his partner will be presenting the offer again, the deal again. All right. Thank you all very much.
Hey, Carol.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.